Yesterday, a new statement of changes was released, and I had some time to analyze it. So I needed that, and I've analyzed it very well now. So in this video, I'll briefly discuss all the changes that are coming into play with that statement of changes. Yesterday was 1st of July 2025. These changes will take effect from 22nd of July 2025, 22nd July. So to begin with, I'll just start what these changes are about. So in these changes, the skills level for the skilled worker visas is changing. I'll get into details just briefly. Skills level is changing, salary thresholds will change, uh, dependents allowed, not allowed on several categories. About 180 eligible occupations will be taken out from the skilled worker occupations list. What else? Immigration salary list and temporary shortage list. So new temporary shortage occupation shortage list is going to come, TSL. Currently it is ISL, immigration salary list. Over a period of time that will be phased out. So, and what else? Adult social care changes to the care worker visa. Outside UK, no one can come from overseas. Inside UK, yes, you can do extend and all. So I'll get into the details. That's another change. What else? And changes to the Afghan relocation. That's a very small area. So these are the mainly. To start with, I'll begin with the skills threshold. So as I had done previously in my immigration white paper video, the skill level was going to go down. So these are the same cards that I'm using. RQF level 3, that is current level, it is A level. So anyone who passes A level can do that job, or A level of activity is done. So it's not a managerial level or a graduate level job. So it is increasing to level 6. So that is graduate level jobs. So it's important to understand graduate level jobs doesn't mean you need to be a graduate from anywhere in the world. This is a very common question I always get asked. We do sponsor license applications and also instruct employers as well on this matter, where every time I get this question saying, does that person need to have a graduate degree? No, that is not the requirement. The level of skill that is required, for example, a chef from, let's say, from India or somewhere in Asia, he may not have a graduate degree, but he may have that level of experience. He may have worked in the field for say 10 years, and out of that, the level of work that he's doing is equal to a graduate level work. So that's just an example. Yeah, it may not exactly fit in. So this is an important one, that the RQF level 3 is increasing to RQF 6. So just to give a background, before skilled worker. So skilled worker visas were launched after Brexit, after the end of the transition period of Brexit, and the EU settlement scheme started, and at that time obviously EU workers could not come. So the skilled worker new visa was launched. Before this it was tier 2 general. When it was tier 2 general, at that time the skill level was RQF 6. So it is not new to employers, it is not new to us. We know what RQF level 6 jobs are. RQF level 6 are managerial jobs or something, we can say, let's say, which require a level 6. So think of it in terms level 6 and level 3. Level 3 are the basic, which are also low skill jobs, maybe construction jobs, etc., or maybe legal assistant job, or a yoga teacher or gym instructor. So I think they all may fall. These are just random examples that I know of. I'm just stating. So this skill level was always at level 6 before the skilled worker. Then when the skilled worker was launched, it was reduced down to level 3. Currently, even for intra-company transfer, so before, when it was tier 2 general, it was called as tier 2 intra-company transfer. There is another visa. It's an area where companies, we do manage employees also. So where employees who have worked in a connected entity in another country, they can come to the UK and work for their UK entity. So that's an intra-company transfer visa. Currently it is called as senior specialist global business mobility visa. In that, the skill level was always level 6. Only in the skilled worker level it was brought down to 3. Government tested it. They had all the burns, all the issues, scams and all, everything came in. Again the government decided, let's push it back to level 3. Doesn't seem to be working. Again they are bringing it back to level 6. So now that is just a brief summary of the level 3 and RQF 6. That is the first change that is happening. So what they say, skilled worker applicants must be sponsored in a job in an occupation skilled at the RQF regulated qualifications framework, level 3 or above. The threshold rate relates to skill level of the occupation rather than the qualification. So that's what I was saying. You don't need to have a qualification, but the skill level of that occupation. The threshold was lowered from 6 in immigration rules as per the changes made in 2020. That's when the skilled worker visa was launched around December 2020, if I remember it well. So from level 6, it was brought down to level 3. And then to help businesses, because the free movement was ending because of the EU settlement, Brexit happened at that time. Since then, now the white paper came into play where the government said, yes, we are going back again, and now the changes are being implemented into the rules. So that is what is happening. So the skills level will go back to level 6. This means a reduction of 180 occupations. So there is a skilled occupations list which includes level 3, 4, 5, 6, all the jobs. Now because only level 6 jobs and higher can be sponsored, 180 occupations are falling out from the skilled occupations list, cannot be sponsored under the skilled worker visa. 180 eligible occupations that are currently there. So skilled worker applicants will continue to be able to be, so someone who is already in the UK, so this is what they say, existing skilled workers already in the UK will continue to be able to be sponsored in these occupations only if they are already in the route. So if you're already in the route, yes, you can continue at level 3, level 4, level 5, whatever that is, or have been sponsored for an application which is later successful. So if you want a level 3 job under level 6, any job, make sure your skilled worker application is filed on before 22nd of July. So latest by 21st of July. So even if the decision comes after that, you will still be under the current rules, not under the new rules. So that's one. When the changes come into effect, so or where an occupation, so only below level 6 jobs are possible. That's what they are covering. Someone who is already on a skilled worker visa in the UK, yes, they can be below level 6. Someone who files their applications latest by 21st of July this month, yes, they can be below level 6. Someone who is on the immigration salary list or on the new temporary shortage occupation list. So these are only 4 areas on which someone can be working under level 6 jobs. Already on the skilled worker visa in the UK, number 1. Number 2, if you file your application latest by 21st of July. Number 3, your job is on the immigration salary list or your job is on the new temporary shortage list. So other than that, everyone else, whoever applies for this visa, they will have to be, so it can be either an outside UK application or an inside UK switching. So let's say you are a student, you are switching, you don't fall under any of these categories, new rules apply to you. You have to have level 6 jobs or higher. Let's say you are a graduate route holder, you are trying to switch on or after 22nd of July, new rules apply to you, level 6 jobs or higher. Okay. Routine update. So the salaries are also increasing as per the Office of National Statistics data. Slightly, all the salaries will also go up across the board. Yeah. So appendix skilled occupations, definitely, as I said, it will be split into 2 parts, level 6 plus and level 3 to 5. They are just going to change that appendix. Sponsorable jobs, unsponsorable jobs. To summarize, there will be transitional arrangements in the statement of changes. Exempt workers who are already in the skilled worker route or have been sponsored for an application which is later successful, which I said. When the changes come into effect from the increase of the skill threshold, they will have the transitional provisions, so they are okay. Someone who is already in the UK, they are fine. I know I may get many questions on the channel, so just to summarily state, anyone who is already in the skilled worker area, they are safe. If they are, I've summarized here, let me see. So the new rules only apply someone who is switching inside the UK on or after 22nd July or coming from overseas making an application, either of them, on or after 22nd of July 2025. Skill levels are going up 3 to 6. I'm just trying to read from my summary. I've made a mind map over here. Salary is raised as per the Office of National Statistics data that will be released. Yeah. So then skilled worker, the immigration salary list and the temporary shortage list. So which is the 4th one which I talked of. In these 2 lists, if your job is there, yes, you can be sponsored under level 6 job also. But it will be time limited and what the government has said, and conditional. The immigration salary list, they will phase it out they will abolish it over a period of time. So for now, they don't know how it's going to move, so that's why they're at least keeping that list, but the goal is to take that list completely out. Okay, and also the TSL, they are giving a goal of 31st of December, end of 2026. What they said, they have the goal of throwing out the immigration salaries completely. So those under less than level 6 jobs will go away. Also, very important thing, they are allowing under level 6 jobs on TSL, on the temporary shortage list, or ISL, but they can only be sponsored. The other two benefits, which are discount on the salary. So currently, if you file a job, if you apply for a job under the immigration salary list, you can apply with the 80% discount on the going rate. So that is always there on the salary rate. That discount will not be available. Whatever is the going rate for that job will have to be paid. Number one. Number two, this is the biggest one, where the visa fees. There was also a discount on the visa fees. If your job is on the immigration salary list, you pay a lesser fees. That discount also goes away. So those are the two big ones which will apply to the shortage lists, either of them, TSL or ISL. So no discounts on the salary threshold, and no discount on the visa fees. This is quite a big one because employers consider, so in the common usage, employers prefer to sponsor someone on these lists, immigration salary list, because they can pay a lesser salary up to 80%. Yeah, 80% salaries are allowed. So that is one preference. So the demand from employers will go down. Employers will prefer not to sponsor. They may decide not to sponsor. Even the visa fees, if the employer is bearing it, then that may be a bearing on their decision not to sponsor someone on those ISL or TSL jobs. Secondly, the TSL, the temporary shortage list, is only an interim measure, temporary measure, not a permanent solution. It is conditional, it is time limited. Over a period of time, they are planning to take it out. They will take regular reviews from the Migration Advisory Committee, and accordingly they will move jobs in and out of it accordingly, whatever is the demand in the job market. Only for critical roles they are allowing on the TSL, temporary shortage list, and the intention is those employers should grow domestic skills. They should spend on domestic skills, and that's the intention of the government. Temporarily allow this job codes to be sponsored on the ISL, TSL, and slowly phase them out and make the employers hire local labor. So MAC will review regularly the occupations that are on those lists, the salaries that are paid to those occupations, and the benefits to the economy, not to the migrant or the employer, to the economy as a whole. Does the economy benefit, the UK economy benefit from keeping that job on that particular list, whether temporary shortage list? Okay, so this is the change. What else? Care workers, very important. Okay, so I've summarized this here. Out of country applications, fresh applications cannot be filed from outside the UK on or after 22nd of July. So even you cannot file it now in practical terms, because I think in April some changes happened in April, where if an employer wishes to sponsor a care worker from outside the UK, in order to issue the defined certificate of sponsorship, they have to satisfy the Home Office that they could not find anyone inside the UK from the list of those 40,000 who are still looking for jobs. So 40,000 which were displaced of all the scams that happened on the care worker area, not getting the employer, not giving them hours, spam, whatever fraudulent companies formed, visas granted without jobs, etc. So there are approximately 39,000, I remember that's the number. So 39,000 individuals who are still looking for jobs. The UK government has made a rule that employers cannot sponsor someone from outside the UK on the care worker visa unless they take someone from the pool. So once they have to consider someone from the pool first, and the pool is still there, I'm pretty sure it is there. So definitely, even as of today, practically getting a care worker from outside UK is impossible because the DCOS will not be given, the defined certificate of sponsorship. Now further, they are closing it completely under in the immigration rules from 22nd July. Care workers from outside UK cannot file any applications. Now care workers who are already in the UK, there will be transitional provisions. So who are already in the UK, you can switch inside the UK to another employer, you can extend your permissions, you can also change employers, you can do all of that. So there is no restriction on the in-country care workers. And this transitional provisions on the care workers already in the UK will be valid till 22nd of July 2028, 22nd July 2028. So it is exactly 3 years from the date these rules come into play. 22nd July 2025 is when these rules begin. The government is giving 3 years for everyone to transition into ILRs or whatever that is. After that, there will not be any further applications allowed because the care workers, it is under level 6 job. So after July 2028, 22nd July 2028, they cannot make any further applications to extend or switch or do anything. Before that, usually most of them will always will qualify for ILRs, and also I don't think that is an area to worry about. Okay, so what else? The next point is existing skilled workers. Yes, I touched upon. Now my summary. There is a transitional provision for all existing skilled workers. So first I talked about the care workers, now all existing skilled workers. Anyone who is already on a job code between level 3 and 5, they can extend. So you're already in the UK on a skilled worker visa with a level 4 job, for example. You can extend and you can also bring dependents. You can change employers. So that is what is happening, but not indefinitely. They will keep on observing it and they may bring changes subsequently. This is a very important one. I'll repeat that. I know I will get questions on the channel. Existing skilled workers who are not care workers, so who are in any other job codes between level 3 and level 5 jobs, you can extend, you can switch, you can bring dependents, you can do everything. But the government has said this will not be allowed indefinitely. So make sure you transition onto indefinitely into you remain subsequently. So at some point they will stop it. They haven't given a definite date, not indefinitely. That's what they said. And also the 20 hours supplementary work, very, very important. Though the level 3 to 5 jobs will be taken out from the skilled occupations list, those who are already in the UK on a skilled worker visa, they can continue to work for the supplementary work below RQF 6. So they can work on 3 to 5 jobs, any level between 3 and 5, because they always had the right to work under 6 level jobs. They were sponsored under 6 jobs. Obviously, their rights will continue for the 20 hours supplementary work. I know many people are working. They may be having a main job. They may be working as a care worker or so. I know I have had many comments on the channel, which is a level 3, 4 job. So you can continue working in a level less than 6 jobs if you are already a skilled worker in the UK. So summarily, if you are a skilled worker in the UK working between 3 to 5 level jobs, you are fine, you are sorted. You can bring dependents, extend, change employers, continue to work with that additional 20 hours on level 3 to 5 jobs also. So that is sorted. Existing skilled workers sorted, care workers sorted. What else? Very important one. No dependents. Yes, this is where I was coming. No dependents allowed for, so again, coming back. I know it is confusing. So the rules come into play on 22nd of July. From that point forward, summarily, you cannot sponsor anyone under level 6 jobs except TSL or ISL, temporary shortage list or immigration salary list. If you are sponsored on those jobs, no doubt you have those challenges of no discounts, visa fee standard you have to pay. At the same time, you cannot bring any dependents to the UK. Very, very important change. You can see this trend of the UK government. They are stopping dependents. Like I know from normal information, I don't practice US law, but I know on H1B also, I think H4, the dependents are not allowed to work in the US But in the UK, the government takes a stance. They don't stop you from working, but they stop individuals from bringing dependents. They started this with the students firstly, not allowing any students to bring dependents unless they are doing a PhD course or a research master's with some research. So that's what the starting point around 1.5 years back or so. Then the second change was care workers cannot bring dependents. That's happened sometime last year, I think, last year or so. And then now another change. So dependents is the main. So the goal of the government is to reduce migration, reduce migrants. So this is where they are going. They are stopping migrants not from working, not they are stopping them from coming to the UK. So this is a very big change. We didn't expect this to happen, but they have stopped dependents on any job under level 6. So to summarize, who can do under level 6 jobs on or after 22nd of July? Someone who is already in the UK on a skilled worker visa, yes, they can bring dependents, so they are sorted. Then the rest three categories: someone who files their application before 22nd of July but gets a decision subsequently, they will still be considered as existing skilled workers. So those two are sorted. So the only problem is who cannot bring dependents is for individuals who are on immigration salary list or temporary shortage list. They can apply for a permission on or after 22nd of July, apply for a skilled worker visa on or after that date, 22nd July, but they cannot apply for dependents. This is quite interesting. Let me think through. Okay, so someone who is switching from inside the UK, let's say you are a student or a graduate route holder, just taking an example, and you are going onto the skilled worker visa for the first time. Your job is on the immigration salary list. Let's take an example, some, I think, pharmacist or something. I don't quote me on that. I'm just taking an example. So I think that job is on the pharmacist or something, lab technician. Yeah, I think I did something, lab technician, let's say, something in NHS. That is under level 6. Because it's on immigration salary list, from student or a graduate route holder, you can switch to that job. That's perfectly fine. But you won't be able to bring your family member, a dependent on that. If your dependent is already in the UK, you cannot sponsor. They have to find their own route, whatever, skilled worker visa, any other visa to live in the UK. Important. They may have to leave. This happened with students. I remember when students, there was something happened. There was a mutually exclusive area where students are having issues when they switch on to some categories. Yes, example is where a student or a graduate route holder who already has a partner and that person is switching. This even happens today. Yeah, if they are switching to a care worker visa today inside UK, yeah, last year this was the problem. I've seen that many times, clients asking this. The, let's say, one partner, the husband switches to a care worker visa, but he cannot sponsor his wife who is already as a dependent in the UK, either a graduate route dependent on him or a student dependent, because the rules don't allow on the care worker job codes to sponsor a dependent. And this problem is going to continue and it is going to enlarge in this area now. So I'm just trying to see what are the possible scenarios. The very common scenario would be a student or a graduate route holder who is trying to get onto a job with a level 3 to 5, not level 6, level 3 to 5, RQF level 3 to 5, which is on one of these lists, TSL or ISL. They will get the job, but they will not be able to continue sponsoring their partner, husband, wife, whatever, unmarried partner, who they have continued to sponsor till now, either on their student visa or on their graduate route visa. But that person, the partner, may have to leave the UK or they may have to find their own route, whatever that is, another skilled worker or something like that. So this is quite a big change. It will impact. I know people don't understand. They come to crossroads and then they are stuck. I've spoken to many. Yeah. So if you have, just throwing in over here, if you need advice on your specific matter, do book a consultation with us. Links will be in the description. Yeah. So dependence is the biggest one that I looked into the immigration rules. Everything else seems okay except the RQF level 6 jobs going down to 3. So summary, these are the main changes. I just want to check if I have missed anything on my another one. The Afghan resettlement, it's a very small area. Till now only 12,800 migrants have been moved to the UK in that area. Afghan relocation and assistance policy, a very small area. It applies to small cohort of migrants, and that is stopping completely. That's what the government has confirmed. That is another change that is happening since I'm going through the statement of changes, and that area is just stopping, except any joining family members on that will continue. So that's it. That is the change on that. Next change is what the government has already said. So in my white paper video I talked about everything. In this one, these are the changes that are coming into play on 22nd July. Now what is going to come into play by the end of the year? I will make another video. I know by the end of the year there will be another statement of changes. It will talk about the ISC. I think I have already talked about it. The immigration skills charge that applies to skilled worker applications is going to go up by 32%. This is the same plug I used in my white paper video. So 32%, to give you a perspective, for large employers it is going from 1000 per year of visa to 1320 per year of visa. So, and that will come by the end of the year. So if you want to file applications, file it earlier before those changes come. That's one more. And for small employers it is increasing 32%, which is, these are the same plugs I'm using from that video. Currently it is 364 per year of visa for a small employer. It is going up to 480 per year of visa. That is the immigration skills charge. So this has bearing on employer's decision whether to employ you or not, and this cost has to be borne by the employer only. It cannot be borne by employees. Remember that. I know people say, can I pay this and that? Home Office comes to know, they will cancel the sponsor license and curtail the permission, your skilled worker permission also, if you have shared even £1 of this immigration skills charge. So my advice is, if you're planning to file applications, file before that change comes into play. That will come by the end of the year. So in this they have given a hint when what changes will come by the end of the year. Uplifting language requirement. Yes, I did talk about this in my white paper video. So the English level is going to go up from B1 level. This is for settlement, basically B1 level, which is intermediate. These are the same plugs I'm using. B2 upper intermediate, and these English levels will be added to even PBS migrants. Currently, a family member, let's say a partner or a spouse of a skilled worker or a student or a graduate route, doesn't need to meet the English language requirement, but the requirements will be added. They will be exactly matched like a spouse visa of a British citizen. Currently, the first application when you make, so spouse visa is done, initial application, extension after 2.5 years, and then ILR, 3 points when they make applications. At the first point, they need A1 level. So the same way, even the PBS dependents, skilled worker dependents, etc., will need A1 level. At the extensions or a subsequent application, they will be expected to meet A2, and at the third level, at the ILR level, it's going to go to B2. B2 is going to go for everyone, as far as I understand. The B1 will go out completely. So everyone for ILR may be B2. This change about English language is going to come by the year end, so by December, 31st December maybe. And the new family policy. So family route visas, it's very confusing if you look the rules. For spouse or unmarried partners of British citizens or settled people, partner visas, parent visas, child visas, etc. That is whole thing is called as family route, and they call it family policy framework. So a new family policy framework will be coming by the end of December. 3 changes by the end of December. At that time, once the statement of changes comes in, I will make a video. Immigration skills charge will increase. File your applications as soon as possible. Uplifting the English language requirement. From B1, definitely the ILRs are going to B2, and also PBS dependents will need English language requirement, number 2. Number 3 is the new family policy will come into play. Family route applications, spouse visas, parent visas, child visas, etc., etc. So those are all the changes that I had on my whole chart over here. So I've covered my whole mind map. For your specific situation, book a consultation. Link will be down in the description. Also, we have a mailing list. We send blogs, information. If you wish to receive regular updates, hit the link in the description below to join our free mailing list. You will receive regular document checklist, latest immigration blogs, latest immigration updates. Yeah, we just send today's updates also in those blogs. Exclusive free advice sessions. We have monthly email advice sessions, and eligibility requirements, etc. Helpful tips for successful applications. We share a lot of things. We'll slowly start sharing those. So join that mailing list. That will help you with at least gaining some information, updates, etc. Or book a consultation for your advice. That link will also be there. If you did like this video about the changes that are coming into play from 22nd of July, if you wish to know more about the various changes to the long residence, private life, EU settlement scheme, etc., continuous residence, that happened on 24th of June 2025. I think a week before I made that video. Watch this video here. So I'm linking that over here. So it's got quite gone very viral, around more than 30,000 views as of today, I think, within less than a week. So yeah, watch that video. I've summarized all the changes that are happening to that long residence, private life, EUSS, etc., etc. And do like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.